What's up, Hawk fans? I'm Cheyenne Jacobs, back here for your on-campus interview. I'm here with Dr. Hauf. I'll have you introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dr. Lori Hauf, and I am an instructor in the School of Business and Entrepreneurship.
Perfect. What has your journey been like to being a professor now in the School of Business and Entrepreneurship?
Yeah, when you say starting at the bottom and working your way up is honestly what my journey looked like here. I started out as work study, and there was a grant at the time. It was called TRIO that I got hired for to be an administrative assistant. And so while I was going to school, as you're allowed to take your classes, I got my associate degree, and then I moved to academic records, where I worked there for about 3 years and finished up my bachelor's degree, which was in education with business education. And then just shortly after I received my degree, I was asked by Roger Kilwine at the time, and he asked me to teach a couple classes in business for him. I do have a computer science minor, so at that time I was teaching in 2 departments. I was teaching in math and computer science and the business department. And then just went on to get my master's degree from Minot State University, and then I received my doctorate from North Central University. So when you say be a lifetime learner, I was definitely a lifetime learner.
Yeah. And what inspired you to pursue a degree in business education?
Not to sound cliche, but my mom was a business teacher at Trinity High School here for close to 30 years. She was the typing teacher. And so I saw the impact it made. And I can remember sitting in class in Mayhall Room 7, and I was taking desktop publishing in my undergrad and thinking, oh, I would absolutely love to teach this someday. And here I am, I'm teaching it this semester. So, yeah.
And you mentioned the computer science part of your minor, so how has technology kind of impacted the way you teach in the classroom, but also how the business world runs?
Sure. Well, technology is always evolving. I always joke and say I should have went into history because that never changes. So your curriculum never changes, your textbook never changes. But that's the part I love about the job is being able to just change with the times, seeing new technology that's out there, and I'm just a sponge when it comes to new, latest and greatest things to offer. So needless to say, AI has been so fun to work with and see how it's impacting education.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely learning that in our education courses now. So
yeah,
and how to use it, and it's kind of mind-blowing.
Absolutely. The amount of time it would have saved me over the years is incredible that it does. So.
And what opportunities does SOBI offer to students, such as like internships, opportunities like that?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. We offer internships to all of the students in all of our different majors, even our associate, our 2-year degree. Almost all of our internships are paid internships, which a very high percentage then leads to full-time employment with those students. So we pride ourselves on that, and we have very close connections with leaders in the community. So it works. It's a very, very nice relationship, and it really helps the students to be placed in different companies or different businesses that are really going to complement their degrees.
Yeah, for sure. And what has been the most rewarding part to you as being part of the School of Business and Entrepreneurship?
Sure. I think over the years, it's just been that sense of, I can say family because we all work very closely together. Our department has always been focused on the same goal, and that is to put our students first and do the best that we can for those students. So when they go out into the world, they are prepared as best as they can be for their job positions. So let's say that's probably one of the highlights.
Yeah. We ask everyone on Hawk Talk this. So what does DSU mean to you?
Oh, that is That's a tough question because I don't think I have enough time to say what DSU means to me. I've been here close to 28 years, so I've seen a lot of changes. I've seen a lot of growth. DSU it means the world to me. I've never had a day where I get up in the morning and I don't want to come to work. Just to see the impact that instructors make with the students, and just to see how far they come from when they're incoming as a freshman into becoming graduates at DSU. So honestly, there are no words. DSU has meant the world to me and everybody here and all my colleagues. It has been a wonderful experience.
Yes, yeah, for sure. Well, thank you for coming on and
Thank
representing
you.
SoBe. We appreciate it. Now to your in-studio interview.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Hawk Talk. I'm your in-studio host, Xander Beeson. Today I'm joined by two of the receivers of the football team. I'll have you guys introduce yourselves.
I'm Kyle Meinecke. I'm a senior. I'm majoring in exercise science, and I'm from Sheridan, Wyoming, going into my 5th year of football here.
I'm Semaj Clark. I'm from Lake County, California, and I'm going to my senior season as well.
All right. What brought you guys to DSU? You guys have two very different journeys to get where we are now.
The main thing for me was two sides of it. Was the culture. You know, like one thing that was kind of drilled into my brain in high school was that I wanted to go somewhere where the coaches would be mentors and they would have a play in my life outside of football. You know, I wanted to go somewhere where I knew they could teach me about being a man and how to run a household and how to act outside of football. And also, you know, everybody wants to win football games. And I knew coming to Dickinson, get a few rings along the way, playing a few playoff games, I'd get to have a lot more fun than losing every week. So.
Yeah. For me, you know, DSU really gave me the opportunity to showcase my skills and, you know, make a name for myself and go to school for free. So I had to really take the opportunity and just run with it.
Yeah. Kind of like I said, you guys have two different journeys. You were recruited here at a high school. Yeah. You came here from a JUCO. Just kind of, what is the biggest difference in playing JUCO and then coming to one place straight out of high school?
Well, I would say for me, one thing I noticed, like between me and some of the guys that transfer in here, is like the program knowledge is great. You get to learn. You know, I've been here just going into my 5th year, so I've got 4 years of knowing what the coaches want from me, and even in the school side, I know all the professors. I'm good friends with all the professors. I know my advisors really well. And then from like a brotherhood standpoint, I've got to be around the same guys for 5 years straight, which I love. That's my favorite part about it, is I've got to know everybody and play around everybody, and I haven't had to bounce around and try to make new friends every time. So that's my favorite part of it.
I would say going JUCO is different because, you know, everyone has that mentality that they want to go D1. So everyone has like that chip on their shoulder to want to get out and really make it. But it's not really always about going D1. Like I said, it's about going to a place that's going to give you the best opportunity to play the best football that you can and make a name for yourself.
Yeah, I think you definitely made a name for yourself this season. What has been, like you said, great culture here. We win a ton of football games. What's been your favorite part about playing football here?
Oh, the guys, all the other guys on the football team. You know, I love the games. Their games are definitely one of my favorite parts. But even better than that is the locker room after the games, the bus trips, the meals eaten with the teams. You know, like when you're in fall camp, and fall camp's really hard, and nobody's really in a very good mood. But then you go to Pizza Ranch, and everybody's laughing. It's awesome. That's my favorite part of it.
I would say winning. Yeah. Winning is probably my favorite part about being at DSU. And the guys are too as well, because when I transferred here last year, you know, everyone really took me in like I've been here for the past 4 years of my football career. So like it really meant a lot to me. So yeah.
Yeah, I know me personally. you had to kind of build yourself back up in my eyes after you spent most of fall camp sitting in that donut
Yeah.
and not practicing in a boot. But it's okay. We forgive you. You made up for it. You guys were both multi-sport athletes in high school.
Yeah.
I told Kyle yesterday when we were talking about this, I wanted to find the video of him doing the hurdles in high school, but he wouldn't let me do it.
Please don't.
I might still try, but how much does playing multiple sports in high school help with competing and getting noticed to play college sports?
It definitely does, for sure. Like when I was coming here, they wanted me to do both sports. I didn't want it to. I ran track in high school. I didn't really enjoy it. I really just wanted to play football. But it definitely put me on the radar because I only had a couple schools talking to me about coming and doing athletics there, and they all wanted me for track too. And so I think if I hadn't done track, I probably wouldn't have gotten this opportunity. And also, of course, it helps you be competitive. Track, being an individual sport, it gives you a little bit extra desire to win. I think that helped me. And also, being receivers, kind of got to be fast and have quick feet, and that's kind of what track's all about. And so I think it helped me in my development too. I think doing track was way better for me athletically than just like if I wouldn't have done another sport and just focused on football all year round. It was definitely better.
Yeah.
I think playing multiple sports in high school gives you different opportunities to play like a different sport in college. So like, let's say you're not getting that football scholarship, then you can go grind in basketball, maybe get a basketball scholarship or get a baseball scholarship or like whatever you really wanted, track too as well. But like it keeps you busy all year round. So like you go from one sport right to another. You don't really have those breaks of like just sitting down in the house or nothing. So it just keeps you busy and it keeps you active and makes you more athletic because every sport requires a different type of athleticism. So
Yeah. I bet it's different playing in California than Wyoming, because we all know Wyoming high school sports are way better than California high school sports.
Okay.
I'm taking the Sheridan Bronx over Matter Day, anybody.
Anybody in the
St.
country.
John Bosco?
Line us
Yeah.
up.
What are they at? The third
Win
longest
streak
win streak in the country?
Right now, yeah.
Like 40-something games?
40-something games. They won like 4 or 5, I think 4 state championships in a row now.
Yeah. How many did you win in high school?
2.
I won 3 games in high school.
Sheridan Broncos, man.
Sheridan Bronx, man. Obviously, right now we're in kind of the middle of our winter conditioning. Spring ball's around the corner.
Yeah.
And after that, it's summertime. And then before we know, we're back into fall camp. What are your thoughts when you know you're going through all this preparation, knowing you're going to be competing in a different conference next year? We're joining the Frontier, playing in a lot of the similar teams, but it's going to be a lot more competitive. Like the new teams we play are a lot more competitive teams. The Westerns, the Techs, the Rockies at times. What are your thoughts knowing we'll be playing against teams like that next year?
I think you can tell the attitude has definitely changed in the weight room and when we're running conditioning, and we've been throwing a little bit more with some of the quarterbacks than we usually do this time of year, and even like our weight coach and some of the senior leaders in the locker room have been giving speeches after weights and stuff, and you can tell it's being taken more seriously. There's more of a chip on our shoulder this year because we know a lot of those teams don't take us super seriously, and we really want to have that opportunity to be able to punch them in the mouth. It's not like playing the same teams we've been playing. We only had like 4 teams in our conference that we played against last year. We've played them all. And so I don't want to say we were going through the motions, but we knew what we had out in front of us. I think not knowing as much and wanting to make a statement is definitely hyping us up a little bit more and making everybody work a little bit harder.
Yeah, most definitely. I would say like going to the Frontier, like it's making everyone work harder. It's giving us an opportunity to really show people what DSU is really all about, and that we shouldn't be taken lightly because we're in the North Star, nobody likes the North Star, but when you win a conference, you can't really look past that. So dominantly too. So
Yeah.
So it's just like Frontier or not, we're going to be ready to work.
I like that. All right, here's our fun question. Obviously, the receiver group is a pretty close one.
Yeah.
You guys do your dinners. You guys hang out all the time. We're gonna put someone on blast, some people on blast here. All right, you get to bring one wide receiver. I won't let you guys pick each other.
Okay.
Someone who's not here. One receiver to prison with you. You get 1 week to escape.
Yeah.
If you don't, you have to serve 10 years.
Okay.
Who are you choosing?
I'm picking CJ.
Can I
Only
ask?
because this sounds horrible, but he's so goofy and funny. He'd be a great distraction. I can send him out, and he'll get a bunch of attention, and then I can get out.
So you're not taking him with you.
Well, we might plan that out, but I'm going first. CJ's so goofy. I know.
It's one of those things you don't have to outrun the guards. You just have to outrun CJ.
Yeah, CJ will be goofing around so bad he'll let me out.
Okay.
I'm taking CJ.
I'll even let you pick Coach Gibson if you really want to, if that's someone you want to bring with you.
Honestly, the person I'd probably bring with me is Adrian, my boy AC. You feel me? I feel like
Another Wyoming guy. Something about him, man. Something about them Wyoming guys.
I feel like, let's say we come to like a really big wall that we got to get over. I can trust him to pole vault over.
Okay.
You feel me? So
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, he got me.
He's got a big skill set.
Yeah. He's got a deep Duffy, as the kids say these days. Kind of going back to the receivers. What kind of group are you guys both on and off the field?
Well, it's cool for me to see because Semaj has only been here 1 year, and so he didn't get to play as much with the guys before. But it's been really fun to see how the room has changed and evolved. And I would say, kind of like we touched on before, everybody's just really close.
Yeah.
It's one of those groups where, like, one of my favorite parts of watching the Western game is when I scored that touchdown is you can watch Semaj sprint from like 40 yards away the whole way down the field with his hands up. Everybody's celebrating. Semaj was telling me before, I think for everybody's first touchdown of the year, Semaj was there in the end zone celebrating with them. And like we just, not even just on the field, off the field too. Everybody loves hanging out together. We text guys about college basketball. And like when the Mavs traded Luka, he was one of the first people I texted, and I was ranting to Semaj about it. And yeah, I'd say, and really hardworking, I think, is one thing I've also seen kind of be on the upturn. It's not like we weren't hardworking, but I can tell, one thing Gibson's really been trying to instill in us, and that's really fun to get to see how hard everybody works, how everybody develops as a player.
Yeah, I would say, like, when I first got here, like, I didn't really know everyone, so, like, I wasn't really talkative. Like, over the summer, I really wouldn't talk a lot, but
I remember the first time I met you. I don't think you stopped talking.
What?
Carry on so much.
Hey, tight end group, receiver group, two different things.
We just have something about us that people gravitate towards the tight ends.
But like I said, like once like you start being around the guys and you start seeing their personality and what kind of sports they like, teams they like I said, it's like I knew them forever. So, and yeah, like Kyle said, it's nice to see the work everybody put in and the progression of all the receivers in the group. And yeah, I would say that's probably one of the best parts.
Yeah. You can, every time I feel my phone buzz, like there's a chance it's a receiver group chat. It goes off 3 or 4 times a day, and every time I see somebody's name popped up in it, I'm like, oh, somebody's getting flamed. Yeah. I gotta get in on this. And, it's talking to Christian about the Commanders or talking to Semaj about the Ravens or something. Everybody's always
Christian Banks
poking fun at each other.
The first 5 weeks of the season was on my tail about the Commanders were for real.
I didn't believe him.
I didn't believe him. And I remember telling him, like, I like the Commanders, but you make me hate them. Just because of how much he talked about them. So it was just like, Commanders this. Same way with the Ravens. I like the Ravens, and then I met Semaj, and now I just can't stand them. I can't stand the Ravens. But yeah, Christian, he ended up being right. And he texted me after the Vikings lost to the Rams, and he was like, we got room for you, man. And I was cheering for the Commies the rest of the way.
I would say, like, I didn't want the Commanders to succeed because of Christian.
Yeah,
I was hating on them because of Christian, dude.
We love Christian.
I love Jaden Daniels. I think he's a really good quarterback. I never told Christian that to his face.
Yeah, exactly.
I always told Christian Jaden Daniels would be the biggest bust, next RG3, too skinny, blow his legs out, he'd be out of the league in 2 years.
Yeah.
But I actually really like the guy.
Yeah, but because me and Christian spent a lot of time together when he was dealing with his eligibility stuff. Obviously, I wasn't practicing. So me and him spent a lot of time just kind of talking to each other. I feel like we grew really close, but as close as we are, I will never tell him that I was cheering for the Commanders up until the Vikings lost. I was, every week I'm like, they don't got it this week. They played the Lions. I'm like, oh, there's no way. And they did it, and I texted him. I was like, oh my God.
Let's make sure he doesn't watch this hot talk.
He's not going to watch it. I haven't heard from him since the season ended. But this does go out before the Super Bowl, so I can kind of throw this in. Who do you guys got? Super Bowl. Eagles, Chiefs, and why is it the Eagles?
Who do we think will win, or who do we want to win?
I mean, we all think it's going to be the Chiefs if we're being real here, but I think you're a Ravens fan. There's no way you want the Chiefs to win. You guys are both, and you're a Colts fan. There's no way you want the Chiefs to win.
Jalen Hurts all the way. Let's take one rush at 300, please.
Colts are the only team the Chiefs have never beaten in the regular season, so I hate them.
Hey, I'm really watching the Super Bowl for the commercials and halftime show.
That's just
new commercials every year
That's
for the Super Bowl.
un-American. That's un-American. I went on this rant when I was back home with my mom. She's like, I'm not watching. The Chiefs are in it every year. I'm like, the Patriots were in it every year, and we all watched it. We all watched it because we were like, maybe they got it. Maybe someone will beat them. That's just un-American to not watch the Super Bowl, in my opinion. Even like the whole just for the commercials is. I'm not a fan. I'm football guy. Football guy. I'm watching the Super Bowl regardless who. I watched that whole Rams Patriots Super Bowl, the one where it was like 10 total points scored.
Yeah, that was
I watched
horrible.
that whole thing. I think this is my rant. I can look into the camera like Ron said. Watch the Super Bowl. If you like football, don't complain that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are winning every year. Watch and just cheer for the other team. It's un-American to not watch the Super Bowl.
I would be really excited to see Saquon get a ring too.
Exactly.
He deserves it. I
And
like
Cooper
him.
DeJean.
I like AJ Brown, Cooper DeJean.
Something about Cooper DeJean. I just really like him. But
Something about him.
something about him. All right, last question. We ask this to everyone that comes on Hawk Talk. What does DSU mean to you?
The main thing it means to me is like, for me, it's a support group. Because whenever you're going through something tough, every single person has always had an open door policy. And every single time something happens, I'll reach out to somebody new. It's even better. Like even as I get older, I wasn't real involved in the offices when I was a young guy. And as I become an upperclassman, especially going into this year, like all the coaches, open door, whatever you need, all the time. My advisors, Kayla Noah, they've always been great. All the professors that I have,
Tim
Daniels
Timmy
is
D.
always great. Ann Whitcop has been super helpful with like my career stuff lately. It's amazing. I didn't think it would be like that, and I know if I was at a big university, that's probably not something I would get, because our classroom sizes, like I had class with Tim Daniels this morning, it's like maybe 10 of us in there. I've had like 6 or 8 of my classes with Tim Daniels. He knows my family, he knows, he's student taught under my fiance's grandpa. So a lot of ties. He's from Wyoming too.
Big Wyoming
It's just
guy.
a huge support group for me. I know no matter what, even if I've never met him before, I could walk into a random office in May Hall and sit down for an hour, and they would help me with whatever I needed.
DSU honestly means a lot to me because going JUCO, it's kind of hard to find that support when like the coaches are just getting these cycles of players every 2 years. So it's really hard to find that support and the love from the coaches. But coming here, like you can tell that all the coaches and players really care about who you are and what you're going through, and they really want to be there for you. So I would say that, and winning is amazing, so that plays a big part into it as well. So DSU really does mean a lot to me, and like I said, they gave me another opportunity to showcase my skills and be who I am at football.
Nothing about school, class, nothing? I don't think I've ever heard you talk about class.
Hey, I passed my classes.
What is your
and I played
major?
football. I'm majoring in business.
Okay, I was going to say a major in football. I was like, no, I really think I've never talked to Semaj about how his class went that day. That's
Damn.
And yeah, when I was talking about you about yesterday about coming on here, I'm like, what's your schedule like tomorrow? You're like, I have nothing going on
Nothing
tomorrow.
going
I'm like,
on.
are you
I think all
going?
his classes are online.
Yeah.
This guy. This
Hey,
guy.
pass my classes so I can focus on football.
I mean, I guess one way about it. Yeah, that's everything. I appreciate you guys coming on, and we'll see you guys next week.
100 years of football. Show
Hawks
up,
are up.
support.
Hawks are up.
What up, Hawk fans? This is Emma Welch back with your weekly DSU sports recap. The men's wrestling team headed to the mat twice this week in Dickinson with a duel against Meinecke, which ended in a loss for the Blue Hawks. However, the Hawks came back and wrestled well in the Tyler Palmer Classic. The baseball team headed to Mitchell, South Dakota and had a fantastic first outing of the season for 2 wins against Dakota Wesleyan, putting the spring baseball 2-0. The women's wrestling team headed to Des Moines, Iowa last weekend, where the Hawks also had a great showing there. The ladies also hit the mat with a duel against Jamestown and had a big Blue Hawk win against the Jimmies. The men's and women's basketball team traveled to Jamestown, where the women had a loss, and the men took home a win for a 9-1 record in conference. Both teams are headed to Mayville to take on the Comets tomorrow and Valley City on Saturday. The indoor track team traveled to Brookings and competed in the SCSU Open and will be headed to Fargo this weekend to compete in the Bison Open. The softball team is starting their season on the road this week, taking on Jamestown, University of Mary, Dakota Wesleyan, and Mayville State. And finally, the cheer team is headed to Yankton, South Dakota for their second cheer competition of the season, so good luck to the cheer team. That's all I got for you guys this week. Thank you to our sponsors Consolidated for the continued support. Until next time, Hawks are up.